Everybody. This morning, we are conducting the first of two public hearings on the proposed 2022 budget and the proposed five-year capital improvement program. The second public hearing will be held this evening at 5:30. The county's proposed 2022 budget was released on November 18th. Copies of it and the five-year proposed capital improvement plan have been available in the Commissioner's office for public review, as well as on the county's website at www.montgomerycounty.org/finance. At the last Board of Commissioners meeting, the County Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Dean Dortone, provided a presentation to the Board of Commissioners outlining the key financial highlights contained in the budget. This presentation can be viewed on the county website, or printed copies can be obtained at our offices at 1 Montgomery Plaza. Thank you to Mr. Dortone and his finance team, our senior leadership team, and all of our county departments who worked closely together over the past several months over countless meetings and phone calls to identify savings and priorities for 2022. We will make our final decision on this proposed budget at our Commissioners' meeting on December the 16th at 10 a.m. This public hearing is intended for the Board of Commissioners to listen and hear comments from the public that are related to this proposed budget and to this proposed budget only, but not to respond directly to individual questions during the hearing. Per our public comment guidelines, each member of the public will be given up to 3 minutes to comment. All comments will be recorded in the public record. For those attending in person, please be sure that you have signed in on our sign-in sheet in the back of the room. And if you have a specific question that you would like for us to get back to you on, excuse me, please include your contact information on the sheet, and we will be sure to get back to you. For those of you logged in via Zoom, please use the Raise Your Hand button to indicate that you would like to provide comment, and you will be called on. We look forward to taking your comments into account as we make our final considerations on this budget. We will begin comment by those attending in person, and I will now turn it over to Mr. Stein to read the rules of public comment.
Thank you. Speakers that are physically present should come to the podium if they are able. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments must be relevant or germane to the purpose of the county business today, which is the budget. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues related to the budget or portions of the budget that are for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. Profane, slanderous, or discriminatory language or comments will not be tolerated in accordance with the county's non-discrimination policy. The time limit of 3 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination of such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, or otherwise attempting to disrupt the meeting, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. And as always, the Commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedbacks at commissioners@montgomerycounty.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. All right, we'll start with comments from folks in the room.
Okay. We have one person. I'm just going to...
Oh, wait, should we do the in-person first? Or?
Yeah,
okay, great.
Yeah.
You getting it set?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought
Sorry.
we were doing the Zoom.
Okay, one moment, please. We just need to get our timer up. All right. Would you like to go first? Okay. All right, so I will start. Yes, this does stay up. But you can talk to the mic, so I'll just start. And this is the timer. Okay, you may go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pauline Braccio, Talmenton Township. I don't know if you're going to object or not. It's to do with, I was looking at this, actually Dean showed me where it is, all the money that was spent on the coronavirus, like vaccines and testing. I'm very curious about how much the Montgomery County actually paid, because I know that money comes in from other sources as well. The other thing, in pertaining to the health thing, though, I really am concerned because 4.5 miles from me is Merck Pharmaceuticals, and there were some vials found about smallpox. And Bill Gates on November 4th gave a warning about a possible smallpox outbreak. 12 days later, these vials mysteriously show up or found by
Ms.
an
Braccio.
office worker.
Ms. Braccio, can I ask you to please explain how this ties to the county budget?
Well, it does tie because the way you funded about the coronavirus issue, is that the same way? If there's an outbreak of smallpox, would that be funded the same way? That's, budgeted. So I just wondered if you have thought about that, if you've even heard about, a lot of people haven't even heard that these smallpox vials were found. I do understand that the CDC came and took them and said that the 5 vials that were labeled smallpox were labeled incorrectly. I just find it absurd that Bill Gates, 12 days prior, would predict a smallpox outbreak. So it's a little nerve-wracking, especially since it's only 4.5 miles from where I live. So, and there's a 30% chance of dying if you get smallpox, less than 1% if you get COVID. So I'm just wondering, I know you're not going to answer me now, but I'm just putting that out there, that there could be a possible outbreak of smallpox, and anybody before 1972, I believe, would have been vaccinated. There hasn't been a naturally transmitted smallpox since 1977 in Somalia. And since 1980, the World Health Organization said it was eradicated. So how these vials got found in Montgomery County, I would hope that you would be on top of that, because it is very disconcerting. So that's basically, I was also going to talk about the Justice Center, but I'm running out of time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else in the room?
I don't believe
Okay.
so. Let me check the Zoom. Okay, again, for those logged in on Zoom, you can use the raise your hand feature to indicate that you have public comment. That can be found under the participants list. Just give it a second to see.
Just give them the instructions one more
Yep.
time, just to make sure.
Just in case,
Because sometimes it's hard to fly.
yeah, so again, if you use the raise your hand feature, which is found under the participants list, that will indicate that you would like to make public comment, and we can then unmute you for your comment.
Mr. Stein, just in the off chance that someone online is having technical difficulties, can you just explain how they could send their comments to us if they wish?
Yes, absolutely. Again, comments can be submitted by email at commissioners@montcopa, it's montcopa.org.
All right. So if you're trying to raise your hand but can't quite make it happen, you can also email us. All right. District Attorney, good morning. Would you like to make comment? Okay.
Okay. There's just a 3-minute limit, so I'll just start the timer.
Good morning.
If she uses any of my seconds. Oh, look, I didn't get it.
We'll give you 3 seconds back.
Good morning. As everybody knows, for the record, I'm the district attorney, chief law enforcement officer here in Montgomery County. Team prosecutors, staff in the DA's office. Work with all of our 50 police departments throughout the county keep our community safe. I'm here this morning because law enforcement nationally, statewide, and locally is facing a crisis in recruitment and retention. I believe that is, at least in part, due to the real or perceived lack of support for those that are doing this critical public safety work. In the short time that I have, I'll try to address a couple things in the 2020 budget and budgeting implications. As you are aware, more than half of our annual budget goes to our Detective Bureau, which not only is an operating police force investigating and solving the worst crimes, including homicides, but it also serves as a resource for our partners in all the law enforcement agencies in terms of crime scene processing, firearms, ballistic support, and actionable intelligence, and the like. The other arm of our operations is, of course, our prosecutors and staff. When looking at the prosecutors, we're understaffed by 34, with the salaries for the positions, we do have charting below prosecutor salaries nationally and across the Commonwealth. We have again fallen behind in the starting salary level and at the supervisory assistant district attorney level and above. Added to the salary pressure is the fact that most of our prosecutors are now carrying right around 400 cases at any given time, with about a third having more than 400 or in some cases 500 criminal files, in addition to their role in the cases under investigation, which is another duty that they have. That workload has been further pressured since we did not get Trials Division ADA and a file folder investigator. We needed to cover a pretrial service program, which, as you know, requires coverage and preparation for court time 365 days a year and at least 3 times daily. This has been an unfunded mandate for our office, and us and the public defenders came to you last year for help, and thankfully you gave us part of what we needed to start. We've now been told that we'll be fully operational in February. So not having these additional people as required has made me divert people to other trials duties, which adds more pressure on our already overloaded team. And when these decisions are made, and the consequence of it is life or death. The last thing I'll hit real quickly is, unlike the COLA that the state's doing at 5.6%, I understand we're looking at 2.7. That is not going to be adequate to help with recruitment and retention of our folks. It's
Mr. Attorney Steele, my apologies, but your time is up.
yeah.
And Mr. District Attorney, you can always submit additional comments to us, right? No. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
And I'm trying, and I'm trying to contact everybody to have these discussions outside of this.
Thank you. All right, any other public comments? Give the folks online one more chance.
I know, no one else has their hand raised
Okay,
at this
all
time.
right. Very good. All right, well, then, thank you, everyone, for coming today, and we will adjourn until 5:30 this afternoon. We will reconvene here then, as well as online. All right, thank you.